Fight so close to home. I can have lots of fans, friends come out to support. I'm so used to fighting across the board down in the States. So, I have a lot of people coming out and very excited to be able to, show off my skills in front of them. I know he's a tough guy. I know he trains out a TriStar, so I know he's going to come well prepared. And that seems tough. I watched the tape. Seems like a brawler. Seems like it's going to be a good fight, but I can expect a technical breakdown. Slow and steady, but I'm going to get the finish within the 3, 100%.
For me, it's just a fight. Like, I was trying to get a fight for a while, and I couldn't find anything in BC. And I'm always in Montreal training, so Toronto gave me an opportunity, and it's not that far for me to get to, so I took it. I know he's a tough guy. He's pretty well-rounded, so I'm expecting him to put on a good fight. To go down, I want it to be a 3-round war because I want to get as much cage time as I can. So if it goes all 3 rounds, I'm happy, and then whatever the outcome. But I'm an MMA fighter, so I'm ready to go anywhere it goes in the fight.
Here we go, Toronto, Ontario. Make some noise. Are you ready for another fight? The following contest is in the welterweight division, scheduled for 3 rounds. Here come your fighters. First, making his way out to the blue corner, this is Bryce Gougeon.
This is a fight, Rob, and I have really been looking forward to. Bryce Gougeon will make his way out first. Raptor MMA in Vancouver, 5-4 as an amateur, 1-1 as a professional. He started off on the wrong side. Josh McKenzie got him at Rise FC2 November 30th of 2018, but it was July 27th, 2019, a victory over Jaden Martin by corner stoppage. Bryce Gougeon got on the right path. He's got a legend in his corner. He is very, very tough and durable. He's going to be tough to knock off here.
So these guys like your Mark Hominick's and your, who was probably 17 when he started fighting, and your Dennis Kangs and your Justin Bruckmans and your Pat Cotes and your Joe Dirksons, when these guys fought, people didn't know what mixed martial arts was. They would train in something and then go try it against somebody else. Joe Dirksen probably had 10 wins before he'd learned to box. He was just trying to submit people. Dennis Kang was flying all over the world to, Asia and different areas of Asia, Southeast Asia, just to find fights against guys he'd never heard of that he didn't know what they knew. That's what type of guys these guys are. That's why we admire the guys who are the root of martial arts in this country. So yeah, man, when you've got a guy like that in your corner, there's nothing he hasn't seen. Look how chill he is. He's like, oh, cool, we're in a nightclub, we're doing fighting. I've been doing this my whole life. Have fun.
Dennis Kang, as you mentioned, Robin, all over the world, fighting people that he didn't know, that he'd never heard of, in styles he'd never heard of, and he took all that like a supercomputer between his ears and is now bringing that on to fighters like Bryce Gougeon. That is a dangerous recipe moving forward.
Yes, it is, and it was nice to see Dennis in the back. It's nice to see all these legends. But that's what he said. He said, I want to make the next generation of top-level martial artists, so that's what he's doing.
Back into the cage to Mr. Throwdown for his opponent.
And his opponent, making his way out to the red corner, please welcome Bobby Poulter.
Well, we just mentioned supercomputer between the ears. Bobby Poulter out of Parabellum MMA has Rory McDonald in his corner, Lyndon Whitlock, Lucas Chaston. This is one of the best young gyms in mixed martial arts, not just in Canada, but anywhere in the world. Bobby Poulter 1-0 in his career, a win over David Thorne by rear naked choke submission on November 30th, 2019, BTC 8. This is a dangerous, dangerous fighter. Poulter's somebody they're very excited about at Parabellum.
So let's take a second to shout out the matchmakers because they put together some really, really nice ones here. Listen, man, you don't want to necessarily, you're not going to be all that much looking forward to fighting a Parabellum fighter you don't know a lot about because their team is very cerebral. They're just kind of dedicated to to searching for perfection. You cannot find perfection in martial arts. It cannot be achieved. But the search for it is what's important. The search for it is how growth happens. And when you talk to Lyndon, when you talk to Rory, when you talk to the people around, Adrian Woolley comes into there, and Evan Boris, and all these guys come in and add elements to it. They're all trying to make the chili of all the different ingredients that when you put them together creates a perfect flavor. And like I said, you cannot achieve perfection, but these guys are dedicated to a lifetime of trying, and that's what makes greatness, and that's what makes growth.
Rory McDonald is the ultimate player of human chess. And when he's able to impart that into his students, it makes them more and more dangerous all the time. And as you mentioned, Robin, it's a learning process. Bobby Poulter is still at the beginning of it as a professional, but 3-0 as an amateur. He's very experienced when it comes to fighting. He's fought in a number of different styles. He knows what he's doing inside the cage. He's going to look experienced beyond his record.
When I was still fighting, maybe, I guess my last one was 5 or 6 years back, I was going to Parabellum to get ready for the fights. So it isn't just their thinking, but it's the intensity, it's how much they take care of each other and know how to push each other. And they're always trying to figure out how to improve your attributes. Not just figure out how to move the chess pieces, but make the chess pieces have powers and be bigger and stronger. So it's a beautiful thing to watch these guys grow as a team.
Mr. Throwdown, take it
Here
away.
we go, PFC fight fans. The following contest is being brought to you by Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey and OshweganSpeedway.com. Scheduled for 3 rounds in the welterweight division, here are your fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks, standing 6 feet tall, he weighed in at 170.8 pounds. He is a brawler representing TriStar Montreal and UFC Gym British Columbia. He comes to the PFC cage with an even record of 1 win and 1 loss, with that one big win coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Vancouver, British Columbia, ladies and gentlemen, here is Bryce, the G-Man Gougeon. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks trimmed in silver. Standing 6 feet 1 inch tall, he weighed in at 168.6 pounds. He's a freestyle mixed martial artist representing Parabellum MMA. He comes to the PFC cage undefeated with a record of 1 win and no losses, with that 1 win coming by way of submission. Fighting out of Burlington, Ontario, by way of Thunder Bay, Ontario, ladies and gentlemen, here is Bobby Poulter. Referee Graham Bettis with final fight instruction.
And Robin, again, we go back to what you talked about earlier with gyms working together, training together. If you go back to Bryce Gougeon's last fight, he's announced in from Raptor MMA. Now UFC Gym Vancouver in concert with TriStar Montreal. That's pretty specialized training.
This is a game of unlimited growth, perpetual growth. And how do you grow? You get new information, you get new feedback, you get experience like they're getting right now, and you test it. And that's what these two monsters are going to do. They're going to test their game against each other, and their heart and their skill and their bodies, their minds.
Gougeon in the all black, Poulter in the black trimmed with silver.
So Poulter is not afraid to come in deep enough to ask for punches. Watch, Poulter is going to move in with the knowledge that you're going to throw out a punch at his head. Watch him. Now he's moving away to draw you, but the goal will be to offer his own head. You see it.
He's going to take one to try to give several.
Ideally, you don't take it. You slip it or you parry it. But if you take it, you take it. That's part of the game. We're in the getting hit business as well as the hitting business.
Low outside leg kick from Gougeon.
See, he's testing the forward. Oh, he ate that one, but that's okay. You focus in. And then you offer a different look. I like both these guys.
Gougeon, 11 years the elder of Poulter.
Gougeon is saying, hey, look, there might be an uppercut. Hey, look, I might reach. I'm changing stances. He's looking different because Poulter, you can see he's smart. He's trying to learn information. That's why he comes in a little, he goes out a little, he moves different.
Gougeon caught the kick. Looked like he may have been trying for a strike and then pull him to the ground, but Poulter read it immediately. Now Poulter goes to the body with a pair.
There is nothing that is just a win. No situation. Everything can still be contested. So you catch your hand there. somebody catches your kick, you don't automatically go down. It's still a fight to go down. You just happen to be on one leg. Everything can be fought over, and that's why there is no definitive answer to anything. It's everything's a moving target. Everything is a changing element.
Battle right along the cage. Poulter pushing Gougeon into the fence.
Gougeon, see, pulling up. See that? See his left arm? He's trying to pull up. Yeah, because what you want when you got a strong guy like Poulter on you is either take his chin to the sky, which he's doing now, or take his head lower than his hips. And now he's taking it to the sky, right? But and as you're taking it to the sky, they're going to lace your leg. He's got the leg lace. Oh, my, he's already on him.
Poulter trying to step over. He's got to get that arm underneath the chin if he wants to be able to finish this choke or turn it to a neck crank, one or the other.
But everything can be fought. Every position is contested. So is he under the chin? No. But how many steps away is he? Okay, a couple, no problem. How about a few punches? Now we're going to go try it again. Now, and you see Gougeon is turning into it, so he's putting his nose in that hole. That doesn't feel good, but you're not going to have to tap out. And then they separate. These two guys are beautifully matched, man.
Positive for Gougeon there was he was right in his corner. He had Dennis Kang giving him instruction the whole time.
Yeah. Kang would be doing it, like we said, all chill.
Poulter staying to the outside. Gougeon happy to stay on the inside.
Jab, jab. Each one gets a taste. Each one gets a kick. Look how well matched
They're
these
on the
guys
same page. Alex Caparici, Woodrow James doing a brilliant job matchmaking for PFC.
Yeah. And what you're trying to, it's very difficult today, too. You're finding guys, people say, oh, look, they've each got one fight or they've each got two fights. But the level of skill at a fight or two or four fights or whatever is massive, depending on where you come from, depending on who you are, depending on what you've learned. And so to find two guys, just because their records are pretty good or pretty similar, that says nothing. Both are dangerous fights. It's also probably very hard to find a fight for either if people know where they come from and what they know. So you find two guys willing to test each other at this level.
Exchanging knees on the inside of the clinch. Poulter tried to break off with a big left hand. That was slipped away by Gougeon.
Both guys, oh man, I'm loving this fight.
Nice jab, return kick to the body by Poulter. He goes for the knee.
Yep. Man, he called himself a brawler, right? And there's if you're listening to this, you're not from Canada. Yeah, I just said that. You see that willingness to be in there like that. You're getting kicked and you still throw punches. That's a mental attribute more than it is a fighting style. But he's now a good, clean martial artist who has that mental attribute.
Absolutely, but on the other side, Robin Poulter right now using those kicks to open up the hands.
And then fake hands to fake takedown to potentially open up either or both.
Gougeon staying right in with him, trying to make his way forward. Poulter happy to back off a little bit to set up.
Yep. Earlier he was offering, so he was coming out saying, throw punches at my chin, I'll make you miss, and I'll hit you. Now he's backing up and saying, why don't you pursue me, and I'm going to try to find ways to hit you.
35 seconds left in the round.
Nice looking kick. Nice looking round. Look, these guys, they're mirrors.
Exchanging jabs.
Or reverse mirrors, I should say. Funhouse mirrors.
Absolutely. I mean, outside of the hairstyle, very similar body types as well.
Size, rhythm, choices.
Poulter drives in. They clash. Oh, great. Oh, yeah. Poulter blocked it beautifully. Looked like it's going to be a brilliant takedown from Gougeon.
Yeah, look at everything is a battle, right? So this fight's going to start to that he felt that knee to the belly, man. This fight is going to start to be about who's in better shape now, because if you fight every position constantly over and over again, you will deplete. And it isn't just what we often will say, how's your cardio, Reed? And Reed will say, well, my cardio's not that great. How's yours? Pretty good. Maybe I would do better. But if you push me in the right ways, you can fatigue me even though in theory my rating is higher. You know what I mean? It's a manipulation of it's you getting somebody to overspend their budget, right? You have to budget the energy spend that you do. And Reed, if you get me to overspend on my budget, I will now fall below you in what we have available, right? So it isn't just who's in better shape, bro. It is who will use that, who will weaponize speed and pace and rhythm to try to fatigue the other.
Robin, on your unofficial scorecard, who weaponized it the most in round one?
On my official scorecard, I got no freaking idea. I think the judges might have seen it for Poulter because he was the one initiating and he attempted to wrestle, but I don't know that would be correct. It was pretty even. Now, they try to do everything to resist even rounds, but damn, that was as even as I've seen.
That was very, very tight. So neither fighter can feel like they have a round in the bank. They both got a battle here, and right away Gougeon comes out battling, looking for that right hand.
So Gougeon goes over and just fights. That's authentic him, right?
Oh, uppercut off the right. Perfect left straight from Poulter. Now uses it to open up the kick.
That kick under the armpit hurts, man. Like, ask anyone who's ever been kicked up there. But Gougeon's fighting authentically. You can see, call yourself a brawler, you go in there and you grit it out, you gut it out, you push yourself into the fire, and that's what he's doing. That's just a guy being himself. You know, the fact that he learned how to fight and he's put himself in a fighting contest, he's still just being himself. And there's a lot you can learn from watching martial arts, but that truth that you're fighting authentically can be carried over into living authentically, playing piano authentically, driving authentically. This is just how you perform. This is how you perform at your best.
And as a brawler, if he fights authentically, Robin, he could push Poulter into some nasty scenarios just from that style.
And Poulter's answer is, okay, we got to shut this down. So let me get up underneath your armpit with my left arm, force you to hold on with your right. I'll use mechanical efficiency to try to make you work harder. That's what he's doing. See the body position of Poulter? That straight line from his rear ankle all the way up through his spine, all the way to that shoulder, that takes less energy than a guy pulling and sucking and fighting, and then you exit with an elbow. That was very much a dominant Poulter minute right there. It didn't look like it to many people, but the benefits that he gained from that minute are big.
Every breath he forced Gougeon to take there was going to be labored. It was going to be tough to do because of the pressure he was putting on him while not expending a lot of energy himself.
Yeah, he kept his budget tight, and he made the other man overspend. That's only one part of the game, right? How much is in the bank is a part. How well do you recover?
Gougeon starting to loop those hands a little bit, Robin. They're becoming a little bit more wild. Oh, the back fist came out of nowhere off the right.
So Poulter. So we've got two guys in black trunks, right? So if you're losing track, Gougeon is from Vancouver with the braids. Both are wearing gold gloves, but Gougeon from Vancouver with the braids.
I said earlier black and silver for Poulter, but you're right, the braids are probably the easier way to locate the fighters.
Yep.
That's Gougeon trying to make his way forward. Poulter just jabbing him back.
Man, Poulter's doing pretty good with some of those low kicks. There was a minor check on that low kick, and sometimes it hurts the kicker more than the kickee.
Trying to go back to the body again.
There's no... That was just an off-rhythm play on a takedown there. Uh-oh.
Oh, Gougeon tracking him down.
Yeah.
Poulter ducks.
Poulter,
that at least asked the question.
Poulter had a little off step with his foot and just wobbled a bit, but he did exactly what you want to do, which is take away the gap and grab the body.
Gougeon is just stepping forward behind that left jab, and he doesn't care what's coming the other way. He's going right in as Poulter ducks down looking for the double, forces him back to the cage.
So this is back to that concept that everything is a fight. That was a perfectly timed double. That perfectly timed double when a man was flat-footed moving forward, it's still not automatic because Gougeon gets the chance to fight against it. Every position, although you may have a disadvantage, you still get to fight. And that man fought, and that's why he's not on his back right now.
Poulter got his hands locked. He looks like he may be able to go for the high crotch. Well, now he breaks it off. Battle comes up top.
Yep, and then again, he threw that elbow on the exit last time and landed it slightly. This time it missed, but it is available.
Nice outside low leg kick from Poulter.
It's just, that one is one that we cannot imagine the pain. The first few times you take a leg kick like that when you're training to fight, you're like, how can anyone do this? How can anyone eat 6 of these? And they train their body and mind to do it. But right now,
Gougeon is hunting forward.
What a hell of a matchup, man. The way that these two guys are perfectly matched.
Gougeon is just tough as nails and keeps following in behind that jab, Robin. He's got a game plan right now, and he's not deviating from it. No. It's jab, follow, and he just caught him again with it on the nose.
And he wiped, and it shot some electricity. And now as a result, Poulter is going to stand in and fire back, and that's not a bad idea as he steps off on the curve with the right hand to fire the left. Not a bad idea because in those exchanges, we just saw him get either 50-50 or 60-40, and now the other man shoots in.
And again, Poulter stepping forward, goes back to the body kick, looks up high. Low kick that time. Gougeon answered back. Whoa, spinning back fist set to a kick. Yep. Back to the body again by Poulter.
So that spin, and the look on his face says he's having a hard time getting his hands back up.
Yeah.
And see how now he's protecting his rib cage.
That stung.
Yeah, he's protecting his rib cage because of the shots to the body. If he protects the rib cage, you punch to the head. If he reacts to the head, you get another one in that liver, and you get that fight done. Hell of a round.
What a war.
What a round, guys.
What a war. Bryce Gougeon and Bobby Poulter are going to leave it all in the cage. They're going to go to a third round. And Robin, this could come down to last man standing.
Really, it could. It really could. It also, there are some very, very good commission members here, judges and referees and such, but there's so much nuance and subtlety in these rounds that it's really difficult to say. I mean, Poulter came on at the end. The body kick by Poulter, the reaction of the hands down, and then Poulter landing the punches, to me, that's a Poulter round. All else being fairly equal, Poulter had the most reaction to his offense, did the most with it. But I am not a judge, and even you could disagree with me and or not have picked up on that nuance. If you don't recognize the body language of the hands fighting to get back up, you don't recognize the physiological impact of that kick. So really, if I'm in their corner, I'm like, I think we absolutely need to win this round, and I'd prefer let's try to finish this man, of course.
Absolutely, Gougeon, but you nailed it on the head, Robin. Gougeon, when he took that body kick, he was fighting so hard to bring those hands back up. It clearly had effect, and you wonder if the round break is enough to get him reset.
It will help. He'll be closer to, closer to quote normal. And of course he goes right back to the body, and that's smart. You can also kick those arms, right? When he goes to protect that side, you smash the arms. People don't think about that a lot. We think of that as being, quote, blocked. Nothing got blocked. You just got kicked in the arm bone instead of the rib bone.
Both hurt.
Yeah, sometimes more.
Oh, right hand over the top from Poulter, followed with the left, back to the body kick. As soon as Gougeon came up with a counter, he fired in that kick and now drives him to the cage. And if he's injured the rib cage of Gougeon, this is going to be an extremely painful position to take breaths.
Yeah, and even if he's only, I almost said only traumatized the internal organs. Even if that's the damage, it still affects the breathing. It still affects your ability. Again, it's not something we think about a great deal. But when you've been hit and you want to do something, your body doesn't react if it's sore, if its movement is compromised, and that's all there. And he goes under the armpit again. That's a brutal shot, man.
I think he landed an elbow on the way out of that clinch as well. He went for it again, and that time it was there. Knee to the body, although Gougeon keeps coming. Those jabs up top hurt. Poulter backs away.
What a fight, man.
Steps through with the knee to Poulter. Gougeon says, bring it on. Backing him down with the jab.
Back in the day, people would see these fights, something epic like this, and a coach would say, it's too bad they had to fight each other so young, and that's tough, they could have fought later. No, that's not so anymore. There's so many good guys. Both of these guys will be the better fighter for it than the guy who beat up somebody who wasn't testing them. Both guys will improve. Both guys become harder to fight in the future.
Absolutely.
It's called anti-fragility. They react to this
Right.
pressure.
And then left stung him from Poulter. Gougeon might be in trouble here. Backing away, Poulter steps in, wants the knee up top. Gougeon able to break off. Poulter still walking him down with the kick.
And Gougeon, of course, toughness is, now he goes single. He's been going double all the time. Both guys have a chance to strike on that exit there.
Gougeon still with enough to fight off the single. Up top again, that one grazed. Jab landed.
Gougeon's a little more fatigued. Remember in the second, Poulter made him work a little bit more. He also damaged the body. He's also been kicking that leg. As a result, Poulter now, if he can dig a little bit and force himself to get more out of him than he thinks his body will allow, he'll run away with these last couple of minutes. And it just seems to be edging that way now.
Just past the halfway mark of round 3, Poulter walking him down again.
I like the body choice. And then the leg. This is smart stuff.
Poulter using every point of attack he can find.
Yep, and he's being the right balance of patience and aggression.
Back to those knees.
That's
and that one nailed it.
And Gougeon's exactly where he should be in a hard fight. That's who he is. Finally gets all the way in on commitment. Now he'll go to the back. Yes, he goes to the back. From here, you can lace the leg, you can climb up, or you can just pick away. Make him work. Knee him in the butt. Punch him in the body. Knee him in the knee. Hit him in the hip. All of it matters. Think about it for just a moment. Often we're watching fighting and we don't realize that. It's like, of course it does. Take a baseball bat and hit yourself in the hip. Of course it does. It's going to not only hurt, it's going to be tough to move. If you're already fatigued, tired, sore, beat up, your lungs are burning, there's blood in your nose, and now you've got a hip that doesn't move. This is all fighting. This is all the value of combat.
But look at Gougeon, Robin. He is still battling away. He was in a tough spot with his back taken by Poulter. He's able to turn in, spin, and he's still trying to throw punches even though he's being pressed into the fence.
So there's a minute remaining. if this stays this way, win or lose, he should be proud. But in this minute, he can finish it. He can come back and land the biggest punch that he doesn't even know he's capable of while he's this tired. And he's trying that right now. Watch the right hand. It'll be a right hand commitment. When you're this fatigued, you touch with the jab and you just commit to the hardest right you can do. There it is. That's what you do. That's what's left that's what's available in his body right now.
Whoever loses this fight is going out on their shield because they are going nose to nose again and again and again.
Well, this is the most definitive round. It is a Bobby Poulter round, no question about it. But what about the other two? They were close.
Very close.
But if you're Bobby, man, you got 30 seconds. You really want to knock this guy down. Sure, it'd be great if we can hit him, drop him, choke him, or TKO him. But we just want to hurt him bad enough that it's definitive, that somebody feel, and he knows that. He might have lost those 2 rounds. I don't believe he lost both of them, and maybe neither of them.
Oh, great kick up top.
Yeah, up and over. They call it the question mark, the Brazilian. Call it what you will. It's a path. It's a curvature of the path of the kick.
And that's a kick that I know Lyndon Whitlock and Scotty McCovey, who he's trained with before, specialized with.
Yep. Hell of a fight.
Oh, jumping knee from Poulter as he ends the round with a flurry. That was beautiful mixed martial arts.
Friends, find these guys right now. Follow them on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. Tell them thank you for this fight. Go tell these guys thank you for this fight. It made them both better, and it made us all a little better for having seen it.
Bryce Gougeon is gassed up against the cage. Bobby Poulter being held up by the combination of McDonald and Whitlock. And now Poulter starts to walk around the cage. He believes he's taken this fight on the scorecards. Gougeon stands up, shakes hands with the corner for Bobby Poulter. This is just spectacular stuff.
I believe that Poulter definitively won 3 and might have edged the other 2. That's how it felt. But, I mean, the judges could disagree, or maybe he edged one of them and Gougeon edged the other. We don't know. We're going to find out.
Wouldn't be surprised with a 29-28 at all. I tend to agree, Robin. I think this might be 30-27, but we're just speculating.
Yeah, we are. But what's important is to thank both these gentlemen for a wonderful contest.
Absolutely. I hope that not only do we see Bobby Poulter again in the PFC cage, but that we see Bryce Gougeon as well. Both these men put it on tonight. Poulter really believes he's won, but the judges' scorecards are still to come. Mr. Throwdown headed back into the cage with scores in hand as they do a bit of a cleanup job on the canvas. Bobby Poulter had a bit of a cut going in that fight. Mr. Throwdown looks ready to go. Just waiting on the cleanup inside the cage. And as they get that done, I'm just still in awe of what we just saw. Bryce Gougeon was tremendous in battling his way right through to the end of this fight. Bobby Poulter took the 3rd round, but the other 2 are still in question. Let's go back inside the cage to Mr. Throwdown.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause, please, for both of the fighters in this cage. After 3 rounds of professional mixed martial arts, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge Doyle scores the contest 30-27. Judge Woods scores the contest 29-28. And Judge Vandermeer scores the contest 30-27. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Bobby Poulter.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for both these guys. Bryce, thank you for a wonderful fight, man. That was a wonderful fight. Here, thanks for coming out, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
Bobby Poulter, dude, you're all bloodied up. It's like you've been in a fight or something. Man, that guy's crazy skilled, crazy tough. You may never be in a fight that tough again, and you went through it, you won it, you know you can do this now at that level.
100%. So happy to get in here and just be able to show off what I've been training with me and my team at Parabellum. And Bryce is so tough. Man, he kept going forward, those 1-2s. At the start of the fight, he hit me with a nasty left that rocked my world, but I'm gonna keep going always.
That guy, that is what this guy was put on earth to do. And you came in here, you took all of it, willed your way through it, out-toughed him, and then were able to beat him. Dude, you should be very, very proud of this fight always.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it, Robin.
Anyone you want to thank before we let you go and get cleaned up?
one big thanks, you know, to my family. They always come out and support me. They're sitting in the 5th row down. And, oh my God, they give me so much love, and I couldn't do this without them. I have so many people who come in here, you know, to support, and most of all, I want to thank my team at Parabellum. Honestly, man, these guys took me under the wing. First fight ever in amateur, and now we're on our way up.
Well, congratulations, man. I've called 4,800 fights. That's one of my 10 favorite. Bobby Poulter, ladies and gentlemen. Good work, man. Thank you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Thank you.
Right there from Robin Black, how much he really enjoyed that fight. And when Robin says that, underline it and keep that one saved for years to come. Bobby Poulter picks up the victory, but both Poulter and Gougeon went a long way to impress everyone in this building tonight. Robin, you thank Gougeon for coming out and putting on a tremendous fight. That was some brilliance inside the cage from both.